afternoon, class. I hope that you are all doing well today. I'm glad that you can join me in our online class. Are you all excited? That's great! So welcome to our cookery class. Keep your pen and notebook with you to jot some notes for future references. I, Chef Ken, will be your lecturer and laboratory facilitator. Let us begin. Today's lesson is preparing soups required for menu items. Learning outcome 2. At the end of the lesson, you should be able to: number 1, define the meaning of soup. Number 2, classify the soups accordingly. Number 3, prepare a variety of soups. Number 4, present and evaluate soup recipes. Are you all familiar in preparing soups? You might be doing it already, but not just aware of it. To help you in understanding, this might help. Let us try to answer this. Arrange the following scrambled letter to form a word. Great job, class! Trivia! Did you know that tinola here in the Philippines is a viand, but also a soup at the same time? It is an authentic Filipino dish that was invented around 1800s and even referenced in Dr. Jose Rizal's book, Noli Me Tangere. It is good to know the history. Let us now try to know if you still remember our previous lesson. Please try to answer this. Direction. Identify the picture. Which type of stock are they? This one and this one. Very good. You got the correct answer. Here are some reminders and kitchen guidelines when you start preparing for your laboratory. 1. Always ask the help of your parents or somebody older than you are. Number 2. Take a precautionary measure when using the burner to avoid burns. Number 3. Be careful when using a knife to avoid cuts. Number 4. Maintain sanitation standard. Number 5. Keep your working station clean and organized at all times. Number 6. Make sure that all the utensils and equipment are clean. Number 7. Do your mise en place first. Number 8. Use quality ingredients. Number 9. Follow the procedure correctly. 10. Use your PPE. Now, let us proceed to our lesson proper. I want to give you a question to ponder and find the answer throughout the lesson. What available local ingredients do you have at home that you can use in preparing a soup? We will answer that after the lesson. First, let us define the meaning of soup.
What is a soup? Soup. A liquid, savory food made with meat, fish or vegetable stock as its base. Most are served warm. They should complement the appetizer or entree. What are the classifications of soups? Clear soups, thick soups, specialty and national soups. Clear soups are unthickened stock or broth as their base. Clear soups include broths and consommes. What are the kinds of clear soups? Number 1. Broths. It is a liquid that results from simmering meat, poultry or fish with vegetables, herbs and spices. It contains no solid ingredients. More flavorful than stocks. Number 2. Consommé. It is a clarified and fortified soup. Clarification removes impurities from the broth or stock with the addition of clear meat that will becomes a raft when cooked. A clear meat is a mixture of ground meat, mirepoix, mirpa, and egg whites. Thick soups opaque instead of clear, stock or broth is used as a base, and it contains a thickening agent such as cream, roux, or a vegetable puree. What are the examples of cream soups? Number 1. Vegetable puree soups. This rely on starches as their main ingredients such as vegetables, legumes or rice which also incorporated with cream or milk. It can be mushroom, potato corn, carrots, and peas. Number 2. Bisque. is a soup that usually made from shellfish. Traditionally thickened with rice. Bisques today use roux and contains cream. Number 3. Chowders. It has a strong connections to the eastern United States. The main ingredient is shellfish or fish. Typically contain diced potatoes in milk or cream. Number 4. Potage. It is a term sometimes associated with thick, hearty soups, but it is actually a general term for soup. A clear soup is called a potage clair in French. Specialty in national soups. This requires a special ingredients or techniques that reflect the cuisine of a region or a country. Number 1. Cold soups. Includes both cooked and uncooked soups, and that are refreshing alternative during hot summer months. This is served in a chilled glass, soup plate, or cup. Number 2. Uncooked cold soups. This recipe call for pureeing fresh vegetables and are thickened with the addition of cream or yogurt to enrich the final product. Examples of uncooked cold soups include gazpacho and cold cucumber soup. Number 3. Cooked cold soups. Cold soups should be thinner than their hot versions. To achieve this, use less thickener or more liquid. Cream is added until the soup has chilled. This helps increase the shelf life of the soup. Examples of cooked cold soups include vichyssoise and consommé à la madeleine.
Now that we have already defined and classified the type of soups, try to answer the following exercises. Direction. Choose the letter of the correct answer and write it in your notebook.
1. What are the kinds of clear soups? A. Vegetable puree. B. Bisque. C. Chowder. D. Consommé. The correct answer is D. Consommé. 2. What type of a cream soup that is usually made from shellfish? Traditionally thickened with rice or roux? A. Vegetable puree. B. Bisque. C. Chowder. D. Consommé. The correct answer is B. Bisque. 3. What do you call a soup that are unthickened stock or broth as their base? A. Consommé. B. Broth. C. Clear soup. D. Cream soup. The correct answer is C. Clear soup.
You are doing great! Keep it up! In this activity, you were able to identify the meaning of soup. You can now easily define it in your own. Now, let us watch the procedure in preparing a clear and thick soup. Here are the ingredients needed in preparing a cream of potato soup. Minced garlic, chopped onion, potatoes, butter, flour, milk, cream, chicken stock, salt and pepper. First, we have to make a roux. Melt the butter and add your flour. Roux is used in thickening our potato soup. Now, we have to heat the pan, add some oil, and saute our garlic and onion. Now let's add our potatoes. Sweat it a little. We can now add our chicken broth or our chicken stock. Let it simmer until the potatoes are tender. When the potatoes are tender, we can pass it through our blender for pureeing. After pureeing, we have to put it back on the pan. Now we can add our cream and milk. Don't forget to season it with salt and pepper. Serve your cream of potato soup in a bowl and garnish it with croutons and some herbs. Now you have your cream of potato soup. Hi! Join me in preparing our clear soup. Our clear soup for today is inspired by Vietnamese beef rice noodle soup. So here are the ingredients in preparing our Vietnamese beef soup. Beef strips, beef stalks, star anise, fresh lime, rice noodles, cabbage, chiffonade, bean sprout, onion leeks, julienne of carrots, salt and pepper. For the procedure in our clear soup, first we have to heat our pan and we are going to add a little bit of oil. When the oil is ready, we can now saute our onion. Now we can add our beef. We're just gonna have to render our beef until it's brown a little, so that we're gonna have this flavor na cooked flavor dyan. And after that, we can add our milk. We're just gonna let our beef simmer until the meat is tender. Okay, so we're gonna add now our beef stock. Our beef stock is pre-prepared already. This is made from simmering our beef bones. We have already prepared this ahead of time. Now we can add our star anise. We're just gonna cover it until it simmers and we're gonna lower the fire. Once the beef is tender, we can now prepare our bowl of noodles. We just have to remove everything from the pot so that we're just gonna use the stock. We have already prepared our Vietnamese beef stock. Okay, at this point, when the meat is now tender, we can now season our stock or our broth with salt and pepper. Be careful when seasoning. So just season it a little and then afterwards you have to taste it, and then when there's lacking of ingredients, salt or pepper, then you can add it. Let's taste it. It's really good. Now we are ready to prepare or plate our rice noodle soup. Okay, we will be needing our rice noodle in a bowl and we are going to garnish it with some vegetables here. Okay, so first, let us add our carrots on the side. Next, our bean sprouts. Just a little. Our cabbage. Spring onion or onion leeks on the side. And of course, beef. And garnish it with slice of lime. Now we can add our stock in our bowl. So we're just gonna add stock in here. Now we are going to garnish our soup with a slice of lime on the side. So here is our finished product, our Vietnamese-inspired beef noodle soup. Now that you already know the basic procedure in preparing clear and thick soup, let us answer this activity. Direction. Identify the picture by matching them to the right description. Use an arrow for your answer. Write it in your notebook. You have 15 seconds for this. Good job, class! You were able to identify the pictures correctly. Now you can be able to classify soups accordingly. I am happy that you were able to define the meaning of soup, and I am confident that you can now be able to prepare and present a variety of soup simply by following the procedures. Before we end our lesson, I'd like to test how much have you learned from our lesson today. Get your notebook and pen. This will serve as an assessment. Let us begin. Answer the following question. Question number 1. Differentiate clear and thick soup. The possible answer is thick soup is thickened by a roux or a puree of vegetables or any starch, while clear soup do not contain thickening agent. Question number 2. What is a roux? The possible answer is roux is a mixture of 1 part fat and 1 part flour. Question number 3. What is a consommé? The possible answer is it is a type of clear soup that has been clarified using a clear meat. Going back to the question that I gave you earlier, what available local ingredient at home that can be used in preparing a soup? Did you write some? Here are possible answers: pumpkin, squash, sayote, cauliflower, broccoli, tomato, onion, taro, or gabi. Congratulations! You all did a great job today. Using the available ingredients at home, prepare at least 1 clear soup and 1 thick soup. To evaluate your product, make a documentation by taking a picture while you are preparing and a picture of your finished product. This will be recorded as your performance evaluation. Here's the rubric for your performance. Use this as a guide as well. Now that we are done with our lesson, I am hoping that you can apply this at home. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again in our next class. Always remember that a good food makes a happy family. This is Chef Kenjo Nagbalog, your teacher in cookery. Keep safe and goodbye!